Happy Friday. If you're watching this live, we're here. Flurry Sports. We're ranking shit once again. Trevor Land in the middle, Luke Raymer on the right. I am Zach Bruner, and today we're simply doing the best quarterback rankings. And speaking of simply, this is brought to you by, look at this, Simply Spiked Lemonade. Hashtag sponsor. This is a brand new product. They sent it to me, and I'm just gonna try all the flavors while we're ranking this. So I'll be towards the end. Maybe I turn incoherent, or maybe I become the best ranker of all time, thanks to Simply. But I think, I should say, there's strawberry, there's blueberry. Trevor, can you believe that there's watermelon? And then, obviously, of course, the traditional, the signature, just the plain lemonade. Should be good. I haven't tried it yet.
So if we were doing summertime drinks, I think lemonade would probably be number one on a lot of people's lists here.
I think so. What do you guys think of sweet tea? I'm not a fan.
Don't love it, don't hate it.
I think it can be good. I think it has a bad rap, but I think like it's kind of like moonshine. Like the good stuff, you don't really know about it, but if you know, you know. I've never had moonshine, so I don't know why, but
I haven't had bad moonshine. I'll put that out there, but I also haven't had a bad product from Simply, Trevor. Can you believe that?
Their actual like non-spiked stuff is pretty solid. So
it is. Well, let's see how the spiked stuff is.
Yeah. So considering alcohol,
silence, really quick. Silence.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, decent. It was decent. I'll try better next time. Continue.
So considering that alcohol makes everything better, it feels like this is how can this not be one of the best products out there now?
It's actually really damn good. Carbonated, like I should say.
Okay, so it's like Mike's Hard without the gut rotten better.
Yeah, it tastes like lemonade. Like Mike's Hard Lemonade tastes like its own thing, I feel like. This actually tastes like lemonade. This is very good. This is just the regular, the signature lemonade. Stay tuned for the other ones. But today we are ranking the top quarterbacks in the NFL. We have 35 quarterbacks to rank, one from each team. And then we have duplicates from the 49ers. So we have Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. The Browns, we got Desean Watson and Baker Mayfield. And then the Steelers, we have Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. What a duo.
Two
ACC
alums.
Great. That's awesome. That's really cool. What a endorsement of the ACC. Let's just jump into it. Number one here, Jared Goff. I submit trash. What do you guys think?
So you guys know how I feel about Jared Goff. He's not an elite. He's not great. I do think he will lose you games, but I think there's times where he wins games, which makes me want him to put in the below average category.
I would actually agree in below average.
Really? I don't know who's worse than him. He threw it away on fourth down twice last year.
Big brain play.
I'll put him in below average to start, but I don't know who's worse than him.
We can split the difference, and not too soon to tell.
No, we know what Jared Goff is.
He broke the losing streak in the Detroit Lions. Was he the reason why there was a losing streak? Doesn't matter. He won games, and that's all that matters. Below average. I mean, he had nothing. He almost beat the Ravens. I mean,
okay,
that means something.
Okay, did not beat the Ravens. Let's just put that out there.
I think you should have introduced him as Super Bowl participant Jared Goff.
Fair enough. There's a couple Super Bowl participants on here. I should say the tiers for the people at home. We got elite, great, won't win you games, below average, which is where Jared Goff is at least starting. We got too soon to tell right here, just so we can be fair to some of the young guys. And then trash on the bottom. Next quarterback, though, Carson Wentz. What do you think of him, Luke?
I want to put him somewhere between great and won't win you games. Because when you think of Carson Wentz, do you think of a great quarterback? Probably not. But Carson Wentz is good enough that he's better than the average pack, and he does go out and win you games at times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm conflicted on that.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Trevor?
go for win you games just because when he's bad, he's bad. And I think he's a little more I don't even know what to say, but he's a little more than Jared Goff. And so I think he's got to be one tier ahead.
Definitely better than Jared Goff. To your point, he's so inconsistent. We've seen him do amazing things, and we've seen him be horrible. So yeah, won't win you games just because it kind of balances out, I think.
Yeah.
Especially because last year, all he had to do is be a game manager, and he couldn't do that. Zach Wilson, is he too soon to tell?
Gotta be, right?
Gotta be.
I mean, the Jets are just revamping their offense right now, so I think we'll have a better picture at the end of this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to judge him based on last year. Justin Fields, I feel like the same thing, or do you think he's better than these guys?
I do not think that Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson, but I also think it's too soon to tell. I mean, Chicago is always so hard to tell with quarterbacks because for whatever reason, quarterbacks don't work there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put him in too soon to tell.
Same.
I agree. Here's another second-year quarterback, Davis Mills. Look at that neck. We don't even need to zoom in to see that neck. Is he too soon to tell, or do we actually think he might be, somewhere higher?
I still think too soon to tell. I mean, it's not Davis Mills isn't the sexy pick out of the rookie quarterbacks last year, right? So I would assume everyone was going to put him in maybe trash or below average. But I mean, Zach and Trevor, we've talked about it. He was in the running for best season by a rookie quarterback last year.
For sure.
I'm taking him at won't win you games because I think he had literally nothing interim coach who hasn't played before, and he looked pretty good with nothing. I can see him too soon to tell, but if he is, he's probably the best too soon to tell that there is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely obviously between those two tiers. I think I'm going to go too soon to tell just because now teams are at least scouting for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how he is in the second year, but I do believe he was the best rookie quarterback last year. I'm not sure if it's especially close. Here's an interesting one, Jameis Winston. He's been in the league long enough where he can't be a too soon to tell. But Trevor, where do you think he ranks?
I'm going below average. Like if we're really thinking about it, obviously his greatest seasons has just been simply with a ton of interceptions. He is a stat patter. He can be great in fantasy football, but if we're talking about overall, I mean, I think he's in the mindset of Jared Goff right now.
Luke?
I agree with Trevor. Also coming off an ACL is going to be tough for him. I mean, football's a better place when Jameis Winston plays football, but is that for the good or the bad or the funny or the memes? I think it's more for the memes. So I'll put him in below average.
I think I would have put him in won't win games, but I'll default to you guys. It's hard to tell with Jameis Winston. Obviously, the 30 for 30 year. It's hard to even take much away from it. Like, he did great things and did terrible things. And he certainly didn't win his team games. But does that mean he's bad? Maybe. I honestly have no idea.
And that's why I'm kind of defaulting to below average, just coming off an injury. If he played last year, I would absolutely put him in the same category as Carson Wentz.
I do want to do more videos in the future on that Saints team, because that Saints team, if Jameis Winston looks fine, they're really interesting, man. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara. That's going to be a fun team to watch. Now, this is an interesting one, I think. Jalen Hurts. So going into his third year, a lot of criticism. I don't think he's locked up the job in Philly, as in like I don't think they're building around him. Is it too soon to tell for him, or can you guys rank him somewhere?
I'm ranking him trash. I mean, to me, Jalen Hurts is what everyone says Lamar Jackson is to me. To me, I haven't seen anything out of his arm. I don't know. And like you said, Zach, it doesn't feel like they're building around him. He doesn't feel like he's a franchise quarterback just yet, maybe. But I don't know. I've seen enough from him that I don't know he develops any more into an all-star or Pro Bowl quarterback or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that, is for him is his fantasy football ability in terms of rushing. He can't throw. Like, he just actually cannot throw the football. Just because he doesn't have receivers now doesn't mean he cannot throw the football. I would go below average just because he is so good on the feet at times. But man, I can see that or trash because his throwing is some of the best I've seen. Or worst, excuse me. Jeez, not the best. One of the worst.
I was actually flipping between below average and possibly won't win you games. So I'm going to go below average. Like, to your point, I don't think his arm's very good, but I think he's a really good runner. And I think his arm is something that can be molded. Like, I think he has all the tools to be good. I think mentally he's not good. So, like, if something clicks this offseason, and obviously he has weapons now, I think he very, very, very easily can be in this tier. I think it's capped there. I don't think he'll ever be great, but yeah, I think he's interesting. He's definitely not worse than Jared Goff. Like, I'm not going to allow that. But next one here, though, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow made it to the Super Bowl, obviously, in the second year, third year. I'm biased towards him, so I'll let you guys talk first. Luke, where would you put Joe Burrow?
I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Joe Burrow. I'm a Joe Burrow guy. I would throw him, I don't want to say elite, but I think he's on the precipice there. The thing about him is he has personality. He's giving personality to a Bengals team that hasn't really had a personality since Chad Johnson. And he made him into a Super Bowl contender. Not that Joe Burrow alone did it, but he's the number one piece on this team. He's the one that all the fans love. And he's a pretty damn good at throwing the football. So I would put him in great for now. Maybe I'm sure he's going to be an MVP, early MVP talks next year. If he can kind of fulfill that a little bit, maybe move up to elite.
Yeah, I think he's short of being elite because he's very good. I like him, but he really, if we're talking about the scope of all the stuff he's done, I don't think he can be elite yet because hasn't really played all that much. So I think great, but I think real quick he can be elite.
Okay, I'll put him in great. I would have put him in elite. I think he's probably the third best quarterback in the NFL behind Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I think obviously he can win you games. I think he is a mindset changer, a culture changer already, a great leader. And obviously, like, he came in pro ready. He's so fucking good. And if they block for him this year, it's only going to go up. Like, I think he's unbelievable. But yeah, I'll go with great there. This is an interesting one, I think.
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I have a future on Joe Burrow leading the league in passing yards this year.
It's possible. It's possible. There's a few. Yeah, that's actually not a bad bet. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, is an interesting one. He's won a lot of games when he's been healthy. Mm-hmm. So, Trevor, where would that rank for you?
I'm actually kind of on the side of won't win you games.
Me too, Trevor.
I think he's an underrated game manager. I don't think he's anything great. I don't think he'll ever be great. Definitely not elite. But if you're talking about, I mean, we've seen the 49ers. They've been more than decent at times having him be the starter. I think he's better than those Goff, Hurts, Winston. So I got to go with him. Won't win you games.
Yeah. I mean, they won a playoff game where he threw the ball single-digit times, right? I don't think he's a difference maker.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's made the playoffs how many times with great teams around him. He hasn't lost games for them.
Yeah, a true game manager, and that's fine. So, yeah, I think he's there. Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVP. I would assume we all say elite, right?
Yep.
Don't even bother. Just move on.
Ryan Tannehill Is he? I think I would assume we're deciding between these two tiers here. I would guess. Do you think him being a game manager in Tennessee is a won't win you games, or do you think he's actually poor enough, Luke, where he should be in the below average?
I mean, I think Ryan Tannehill's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. The thing with Tannehill, right, is he's been surrounded by talent since he came to Tennessee, and it's kind of revitalized his career. I know Pro Bowls don't matter. He's got a couple of them. I would put Ryan Tannehill in won't win you games. I think he's an above average. No, I don't want to even say that. A slightly above average game manager.
This is where it gets so tough for me because if you look at, like we just talked about, Garoppolo and all that he's done and his resume in terms of winning, it's tough because their team is a lot better, and playoff-wise, I think he's done a lot better than Tannehill. But I don't think Tannehill is much different. I do think, personally, he's less than Jimmy G, but I still think he's a won't-win-you game type guys.
I think that is fair. He's done good things. He's done bad things, obviously. The bad taste in our mouth right now is the playoff game in which he basically lost it, I would say. But yeah, I think he's a won't win you games. It's kind of unfair because of the offense he's in, but I think that it is what it is. Okay. Talking about Simply Lemonade, guys. Spiked lemonade. We got watermelon here. I'm going to go with this one now.
Did you already finish the first one?
It's gone. I'm thirsty.
That's how good it is.
It was so good. So good. Okay, silence. I think it's better.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
That's up to about an 8.5 out of 10.
It's good. It's sweeter than the normal one. It's like it's naturally flavored. It's not artificially flavored. Tastes artificially flavored. I'm just going to say it. If you like that watermelon flavor of like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, I think that's what you like.
Best Jolly Rancher.
It's up there. I think maybe that's another tier. Trevor doesn't think so.
It's close. Answer? It's close. I'd go blue raspberry cherry.
I knew you were a blue raspberry guy. I could see you 5 years, 10 years younger, looking exactly the same, just a blue lips. Just people wondering what's wrong with you. I can see it.
Grape is a very underrated one. Grape.
No, hell no. Absolutely not. Get that out of here.
I'm a grape guy.
I would rather have no grape than a Jolly Rancher at all.
I mean, I guess agree. It's a weird way to put it, but I agree.
Hey, man, the room is spinning, all right? Stop questioning
it. Drew Lock. Is Drew Lock trash?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trevor?
It's tough. I kind of want to put too soon to tell because the Broncos are such a dumpster fire, but I mean, he still has shown little to nothing.
Trevor, are the Seahawks any more than a dumpster fire of the Broncos?
No, absolutely not.
We will see. They came after me because I said their passing attack is going to be terrible. Their fans are still there, apparently. I don't know for how much longer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Is Trevor Lawrence a too soon to tell?
I say yes because I'm dying on this hill that he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, and I will die on that until he's out of the league for at least 6 or 7 years.
I'm not going to go that far, but I think it's too soon to tell. I do think out of the too soon to tells, I think he's probably ahead of Davis Mills, and I think that's a pretty solid place to be after starting with Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I'd put him too soon to tell. I don't know if he's ahead of Davis Mills, but yeah, I'd put him there. Sam Darnold is trash, right?
Worst quarterback in the NFL.
Garbage. Vanilla Vic. Terrible.
Ugh.
Speaking of worst quarterbacks in the NFL, do you guys know that Nate Peterman is still in the league?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like,
where
why?
Did he sign with Chicago?
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. They need someone who can win.
How could you possibly sign him? Like, what goes through your head? I want to sign Nate Peterman.
There's so many quarterbacks, and you pick him for a backup.
I mean, he's been with Gruden for a while, I think. So maybe they're thinking he has at least learned football.
Zach, he
so
went
he could be a good backup.
6 weeks in a row throwing 3 or more interceptions.
He had like 5.5. Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants him to ever see the field, but in terms of backups, like in terms of game planning, he's probably pretty good.
He must be a good locker room guy.
He must be. He must be like the butt of every joke. And that's good.
Yeah.
It brings the locker room together. Okay, Justin Herbert. I would put Justin Herbert as high as great right now. I think he's really good. What do you guys think?
I kind of want to put him in the same category as I had Joe Burrow, that thinking.
Yeah. Good. I thought you were going to say elite. Yeah, he's great. Not elite. And I definitely don't think he's a won't win you games type guy.
Right. Yeah, Justin Herbert wins games.
And Brandon Staley loses them. Next, we got a rookie. I would assume this has to be too soon to tell. Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
Wait, is that
small hands though?
Pickett? I thought that was Mac or not? No, Mac Jones. Oh, there he is at the very bottom. My bad.
Yeah.
He looks like him.
Generic white guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of generic white guy, here's Daniel Jones.
The most generic white guy.
Yeah, very, very white. I am higher on Daniel Jones than most people. Where would you guys put Daniel Jones?
I think it might be too soon to tell, but I mean, from what I've seen of Daniel Jones, I want to put him in trash. I mean, whenever the guy gets touched, the ball is turned over.
I'm standing on the pedestal here. I'm saying he won't win you big games. Like the Giants have been such a dumpster offensively. They would be bad even with Saquon, and they haven't even had him for half the time. His legs are pretty good. His throwing is getting better, in my opinion. I think he might be one of the most underrated, which is saying nothing. But I think people think he's the worst quarterback in the league, and I don't buy it.
Also, he's a Duke guy.
That does hurt.
Duke guy. Something to think about. Probably is shaking hands and maybe even hung out with Coach K. So that could either move him up or down your list, depending on, your morality and whatnot. I'm going to go with too soon to tell. Just because, to your guys' point, there's a lot of people who think he's trash, and I don't think he's had any help. I think the coaches have been bad, and then he's been hit constantly. And playing through injuries because he's been hit constantly. So I think this is a make or break year, but I think he's too soon to tell.
That's fair.
Lamar Jackson. Obviously, arm questioned, legs elite. Luke, where would you put Lamar Jackson?
I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Lamar Jackson. I would put him in elite. I think he is one of a few real difference makers that can take over a game by themselves, players in the NFL. I know, his big thing was can't throw well. I mean, he did throw 40 touchdowns in his MVP year. I understand all the running stuff, but I mean, you have to be able to throw the ball to throw 40 touchdowns. I'm putting him elite. I think he's the ultimate weapon in the NFL. I think the best rushing quarterback of all time, he's the ultimate weapon.
I think he's very solid at great. I think I see a little more from him this season passing-wise. I think I can put him at elite pretty safely. I think some of the offensive play calling was to his detriment and not his fault. But I still think I have to take that account in a little bit, and he's a high great. But I think he could definitely be an elite.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he's above Joe Burrow. So I would put him at great. To your point, ultimate weapon, I think sky high potential. I don't think he's in a category above Burrow. I don't think he's in the same, realm as Aaron Rodgers, and I would assume Tom Brady's up there too. So I think, he's there. Can he win games? Yes. Can he win them when they matter? That's still a question.
That's fair.
Desean Watson, is he a trash bag? Like, we just put him down there because he's a scum human?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 66. Good Lord, man. 23 was bad. Holy hell.
Yeah. For real, though, if Desean Watson is in the NFL, he's a top 20 player in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. He's a phenomenal athlete.
He's just a horrible human.
Yeah. Bad. And somehow the Texans are getting brought down with him, which is awesome. And I feel like the Texans are taking more shots than the Browns right now, which is
Did
great.
the Texans
the
really
NFL
not
trend?
think this was going to happen?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Did the Texans really not think this was going to happen? Like, I'm pretty sure everybody thought this seems a little suspicious. They're hiding something. Lo and behold, they were.
Texans paid their dues last season. They paid him for a full year. Leave the Texans alone. Let Lovey coach. Damn it. He's going to get this job taken from him because of this somehow. Just leave them alone, please.
I think it's the NFL trying to come down too quick, or trying to come down quick on the rise of Davis Mills. They don't want him to be
Probably.
good.
Probably. That would make sense. Marcus Mariota, obviously an interesting one. He hasn't been the guy, the starter in 4 years with Tennessee. Something like that, right? Where would you guys grade him?
To me, he feels like the oldest guy on this list that should be in too soon to tell, but because he's been in the league for so long, I'm going to put him below average. I mean, like you said, Zach, he hasn't started in 4 years. I assume a lot of his starts this year, or early starts, maybe plays designed with his legs to get him into the game. But I mean, when we saw his rookie year, he can run. I don't know if he still can as well, but I would put him in below average for now.
It's low, below average, or trash from me. Again, I don't think it's necessarily his fault, but it's just tough. It's just tough.
Yeah, I would have to go back and watch the Tennessee tape. I feel like a lot of the issues weren't his fault. And obviously, in the very, very limited time we saw him with the Raiders, he looked unbelievable. I'll put him at below average. I do think he's somewhere between these two. He might be in this category, but yeah, he's got to prove it. We can't put someone who hasn't been a starter but has still been in the league for so long above below average, I don't think. Okay, this is one I've kind of been I wanted to push this off. Kyler Murray, I'm very biased. What do you guys think of Kyler Murray?
I mean, I think he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts altogether. I do think that Kyler Murray wins you games just on his legs alone. I know he can't throw a football, but his legs they work.
His legs work.
Oh, man. It's tough because he in the second half of the season just breaks down, and it's tough because I think Cliff Kingsbury is so fucking stupid that it's hard to decide where he is. And I think he's somewhere between great and won't win you games. If there is something that says he'll win you 2 games a year, I'll take that. But if I had to choose one, I can't put him in great. I have to put him in won't win you games, because if we're comparing him to Burrow, Jackson, and Herbert, I can't put him there.
Okay, good. I don't think he's a leader. I think he's a fine player. I don't think he's making any changes at the line of scrimmage because I don't think he cares to. I honestly think he could read the defense, be like, oh, we definitely shouldn't run this play. They're in man, and this was a zone beater. But I don't care. I'm just going to do it anyways because that's what Coach K told me to do, and then they all fail. I think that's the reason why they keep bringing in these veterans who are great leaders, because he's not. So he's not great for sure. He's not in this tier. So yeah, I think this is good. Tom Brady has kind of put himself in elite at this point.
Yep.
Am I right? Did I drop?
No, we got
Hello?
you. Hello.
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear you guys. Did you say anything?
Oh, yeah, I said yeah. Elite.
I just shook my head yes.
Okay. Tom Brady elite. Okay, cool. That was weird. I'm not on the screen, so I didn't see. Okay, here we go. Next, Simply Spiked Lemonade, boys. I'm trying to pace these out here. I did finish the first 2 because they were just so delicious.
Pacing? This is your third in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only so many guys left. I gotta. There's 2 more. But this one, guys, classic strawberry lemonade. I mean, how could this be anything other than the greatest flavor on here? You know what I mean? So here we go. Oh, someone cut that for a sound clip for every movie, podcast, whatever. Shoehorn it in. That was really good.
It was better than the last one, but not perfect. I would give it a 9.
I got one more to go. I can figure it out. That is really good, actually. Again, carbonated.
Every single show we should just have a segment where Trevor and I watch Zach drink.
Yeah, please put me on the big screen when we do it. But yeah, all these are good, man. I'm very happy. I have simply strawberry lemonade in my fridge right now, but I like this one more because this is carbonated. It's refreshing on a hot summer day. Can you imagine drinking these in the boat, fishing something? Oh, goodness gracious. You know what I want to do, and I don't advise this. I want to put a shot of whiskey in it.
Ooh.
But I think that might be too much because there's already vodka in it, But I think that would be good. It'd be good. Or a jalapeno flavor would also be very good.
No. Stop it right there. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. One of the, I think, voted top drink in Eau Claire every single year is lemonade with jalapeno vodka in it. And it's delicious.
It doesn't sound terrible.
It's very good.
Horrifyingly bad.
Do
you do anything but make bad decisions?
No.
Why? Jalapeno should be in like tacos, and in jalapeno should not be in drinks. What are we doing here?
They should. Spicy margarita. Ooh.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Habanero. Do it all.
Gotta move on.
Do it all. Light me up. Make me regret it tomorrow. But I won't regret simply spiked lemonade. That's for sure. Okay, here we go. Now, the reason why we did this list, probably in my mind, Derek. Devontae Adams just said Carr's on Aaron Rodgers' level in a quote that was completely taken out of context. But still, that's what headlines are running with. Where would you guys put Derek Carr?
You guys don't know how many 180s I've done on Derek Carr in his career.
Yeah.
That makes me just want to put him the same as Carson Wentz, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I do think that Derek Carr is better than Carson Wentz, though.
I do too. He had the 1 year where he was MVP level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could say the same about Carson Wentz. I think there's a lot of issues with the Raiders that are very clearly not his fault.
Yep.
For example, Henry Ruggs was not his fault, but I mean, yeah, he's not in this tier, and I don't think he's below average. So yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl quarterback. Trevor, where would you put Matthew Stafford?
Great. I don't think he's elite. I mean, I think he played well in the playoffs. He really struggled in the regular season. Not all that was him being on a new team, but I can't put him in elite. But I think he's a very strong elite or great player. Jeez, I can't even read now. This is getting bad. But yeah, great. Good Lord. I'm not even drinking.
I want to put Matthew Stafford in trash because I've seen that AT&T commercial way too many times.
It's a good commercial.
No, it was good the first 684 times. But I would put him in great.
Yeah, I think he's great as well. I wish he would put together, 4 quarters in a row where he plays great, but it is what it is. Matt Ryan. To me, he screams at this point in his career, at the very least, he's a won't win you games type of guy. But what do you think, Luke?
Agreed.
It'll
be interesting this year because he has a run game now.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't really had that much in Atlanta.
Honestly, run the ball 2 times, see where you're at. If you need to complete a pass to someone, hopefully your team signs Julio or something, you can throw it to him.
Plus,
that's about it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he doesn't really have that number 1 receiver that he can kind of get bailed out now. I mean,
he does not have Cordell Patterson anymore either.
I was going to say, I think we all agree that Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley are probably better than Michael Pittman.
Little bit. Tua. Tagovailoa, I would love to put him in trash. But what do you guys think?
I'm all in for that.
That's what he gets for that bullshit to his offensive lineman. That's
exactly.
Here's a question for you. This is going to get me hate, but I don't care. Who's more of a cancer, Desean Watson?
It's comparable.
Hey, if we're talking about destroying a locker room, I think Tua did more to his team than an already dysfunctional Browns team.
I think so too. Did you hear his quote? Like, I think earlier this week, he's like, "You guys didn't see the throw I hit to Tyreek. Psh, that would have been a touchdown." Like, this guy's such a cocky son of a bitch, and he's done nothing except for suck.
That's like what's his name? The guy from Oklahoma that thought he was hot shit and then got replaced halfway through the year.
Baker
Mayfield. Super cocky guy. Oh. No, from this year.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember his name.
No,
that's not the right team.
Yeah.
But beside the point, the guy who is from Oklahoma, hate him, hate that. Like, dude, you're in the postseason. You're not the postseason. Jesus, the NFL. You threw a touchdown to Tyreek Hill. Congratulations. That means nothing.
In practice on air, by the way. Who cares?
Spencer Rattler.
Congratulations.
Spencer Rattler. There we go.
Okay, Russell Wilson now with the Broncos. In my mind, he's probably in that great tier because he's definitely won games before. But what do you think, Trevor?
Yeah, I think he's there. I think, oddly enough, I think he's one of the lower in that great tier. But he belongs nowhere other than great.
I mean, you guys know my bias against Russell Wilson. I would put him in wouldn't win you games, but I understand great.
Mr. Unlimited.
Considering that Seattle gave him the offense last year and had their worst season like ever.
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride. Fucking A. The Broncos Twitter is terrible. Why would you do that? Patrick Mahomes. Luke, what do you think of Patrick Mahomes? I'll let you go first.
I think elite.
Trevor.
Hot take. I think he's great. He had all the weapons in the world. I was not at all impressed with his play against some of the defenses. I think he's starting to panic. And I think this is a make or break season for me in terms of whether he's going to be elite or great. If he struggles again with the same, forcing, I think he's going to be great the rest of his career. But, he's still young. He's still got time. But I'd say great right now.
I don't think it's a hot take, or at least I agree with you. I don't know. I think he has all the skills in the world. I think mentally he's not very good. I think he runs Andy Reid's offense, and then if he has to do anything other or outside the play sheet, I don't think he's capable of doing it. I think he's a gimmick quarterback. Josh Allen. What do we think of Josh Allen?
Elite. I think he wins MVP this year.
Yeah, he's elite. He made me eat my words. I thought he wasn't going to be anything. He has been fantastic.
I'll default to you guys. I would have gone great. I thought he was worse last year than the previous year. So I don't know why that would be elite, but that's fine. I also don't know why the Bills are Super Bowl favorites. Have we not learned our lesson with the Bills?
All I know is his family is less of a pain in my ass than Patrick Mahomes, so he gets the edge.
I don't know how anyone is a Super Bowl front runner other than the Los Angeles Rams.
I don't know. Pro Football Focus says Sean McVay at 12 in their coaching rankings too. Why are the Rams getting disrespected? Why are we giving them chips to put on their shoulder? Let's stop. Let's stop doing that because they are clearly the front runners. It's stupid. And Odell's going to sign with them in a month when he doesn't have to go to practice, basically. Okay, Mitchell Trubisky. Luke, what do you think of Mitchell Trubisky?
I think too early to tell. I thought he was not an above or not an average. Not an elite quarterback, not a great quarterback, not even a good quarterback with Chicago. But I didn't think he lost them many games. I think that team was just horrible that he was on. So I'm really excited to see what he does in Pittsburgh this year because there are pieces around him for Pittsburgh to get back to the playoffs.
I'm going with below average or won't win you games. I definitely don't think he's trash. And I think he's been along too much to be too soon to tell. So either or I can see.
I think I'd put him in the same category as Daniel Jones. Yeah, I personally think he's too soon to tell. I think we'll default to that because we got 2 votes. He's had good moments and he's had terrible moments. And I feel like every terrible moment, people keep pointing fingers to Matt Nagy. And yeah, to your point, even if he just loses the quarterback battle to Kenny Pickett, then I'll put him in trash.
Agreed.
But for now, we'll see. Trey Lance.
I'm sorry, just to talk on Trubisky. This is Trubisky's moment to become an NFL quarterback this year.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I don't know who gives him the chance, like the nod to be a guy after this.
Right. This feels like his last chance.
Yeah.
And really his only good first chance.
Especially because he's not like a personality. Like, who wants Mitchell Trubisky to be your backup? Like, screw that guy. Trey Lance, is he too soon to tell?
Yep.
Trevor? Yeah, I don't see as much in him as you do, Zach, but I will trust you and say he's one of the highest ranked in terms of too soon to tell.
Anybody in a dynasty league with me, if you would love to trade Trey Lance to me, I would love it. Thank you. Go ahead. I think he is Patrick Mahomes, but better. Like Patrick Mahomes with legs. That's who I think Trey Lance is. Kirk Cousins, generic white. Is he in the won't win you games, Trevor?
Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere else he belongs to be. Definitely better and below average, and he sure as hell ain't great.
The last couple of years, the Vikings have kind of felt like a step below the 49ers almost, where they have decent pieces and they're always competitive, but those pieces just aren't as good as the 49ers. And that's not saying Cousins isn't as good as, Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't hate putting those two in the same category.
Vikings fans are, for some reason, they've started to become very protective of Kirk Cousins. Like, obviously, I know the Vikings have nothing else to hang their hat on, but like they keep referencing his stats. And I don't really like, if you're going to reference his stats, let's go back and reference Sam Bradford's stats too, because he had great stats with the Vikings. And I'm not even sure if he's still alive. That's kind of where Sam Bradford's at. Yep. And I think Kirk Cousins is kind of the same type of person.
Case Keenum was a game short of the Super Bowl too, Super Bowl.
Yeah, Case Keenum was the guy. And now, where is he? Because I don't think he's still at Cleveland, is he? He was backing up Baker last year, but is he alive?
Case Keenum update coming.
Okay, cool. And while you do that, Luke, Jesus, I'm very full, but we got one more truly simply spiked lemonade blueberry, guys.
Ooh, blueberry.
Blueberry. I'm excited for this one.
I'm nervous for it. I'm nervous. Blueberry is hard to hit.
And I was going to say, you don't really see many blueberry-flavored alcoholic drinks.
I will say, at like the distillery by me, I had a lemonade drink with blueberry vodka. That was good.
Okay.
So we'll see if... I also had the jalapeno one there, Trevor. That was unbelievable.
Frozen.
I wish I had more middle fingers.
Frozen blueberries that you marinate in vodka are good.
True. Okay, I can do this. The perfect sound clip, opening a can.
That one wasn't bad. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, you got to do it slower.
Let's start ranking the openings.
I think it's gotten better every time.
I think so too. I'm hitting my stride, and it's good to end on top. This is actually really good. This might be my favorite one.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't say that crack was a 10, Zach. I'm sorry. And I gave the last one, what did I give the last one? 8.5 or 9, something like that. It's a little above that. We'll give you 0.25 points more than the last one.
Well, stay tuned to next ranking. We'll get some of those Bush apples. I don't know. I haven't tried them. I can't imagine they're any good.
Oh, not at all.
They might have a good opening, though. If I had to rank these, I think I would go blueberry, regular, strawberry, watermelon. I think.
And that's not saying the watermelon's horrible or anything.
Which is pretty impressive. If watermelon's the quote-unquote worst, that's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Watermelon was the sweetest out of the 4, and I think that's why I would put it there. but I think it was good. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap this up, and then we will, after ranking these three, we can readjust if need be.
I think that we should rank them all in each category too, so we can get like a 1 through 35 list.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Dak Prescott, good moments, bad moments, injury moments. That's kind of the most notable thing Dak Prescott's ever done is getting injured. But Trevor, where would you rank him?
I'd go great, but looking at the other guys there, I think he's probably the worst in that position. I like him, but he'll win you games, but he's not the greatest of the great. That's for sure.
I agree with Trevor. He feels like the worst great guy that we have right now and the best won't win you games guy. So if we had a category between there, I would say yes, but I don't like Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins in the same category, so I'll say great.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have anything to add to that. I would like to see him. It's hard to tell like what he's done and what his skill position players have done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Mac Jones has looked really good so far this offseason in clips, but just based on his rookie year, is he a too soon to tell, or would you guys rank him somewhere different?
I mean, he's a too soon to tell, right? But there was a game where, and I know there was wind, but they only let Mac Jones throw the ball 3 times. Obviously, he's a rookie and everything. So that's why I would put him in too soon to tell. But if this was like year 4 and that happened, I would put him in below average.
Trevor?
He went mute.
I got nothing to add. Oh. I think that's fair enough.
I agree. My only thing I would say, Luke, to your comment is if that was year 4 you're talking about, then you would put him below average. That's what happened to Jimmy Garoppolo.
I guess,
and you won't win home games. Baker Mayfield will end on top. Where is Baker Mayfield, Luke?
Trash.
I'm going to go below average.
I'll default to below average. I think he's had good moments.
I don't think there's ever been a Baker Mayfield play that happened. I'm like, wow, that was a really good throw or a really good run.
I think he's had a couple, but they're very few and far between in terms, at least in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's at least on par with Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, whatever.
Fair. I think the Browns have had really good teams lately, and they haven't really done anything.
That's fair. I will say he is the only quarterback who's won the Browns playoff game since, I don't know.
That's fair.
You name it.
Especially kicking out Ben Roethlisberger.
Right. Let's start at the bottom, then we'll work our way to the top quarterback in the league. So for trash, I'm going to default to Desean Watson last.
For sure.
But then with these 3, Trevor, how would you rank Drew Lock, Sam Darnold, Tua Tagovailoa?
It's sad that I'm gonna do this. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with why can't I think of his name now? Locke. Locke second last. I think then
you're doing this the most confusing way possible.
Yeah.
Dude, just say 1, 2, 3.
I have such a bad migraine.
Here, Trevor, who's the best out of the 3?
Tua.
Yeah. Okay.
Help me out, man. This is a bad time, man.
So you do Tua, Locke, Darnold.
Yeah, sure.
I would swap Locke and Tua.
No, wait, I did. Yes, go Tua and then Donald and then Locke.
So
damn, I need a drink.
Okay, and then Luke, you said Locke, Darnold, Tua.
Locke, Tua, Darnold. Darnold being the worst.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this, just so we can move on. Okay, so let's do it like this for the too soon to tell, since there's a lot of them. Tell me who you think the best and the worst is out of Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Kenny Pickett, Daniel Jones, Mitchell Trubisky, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones. Who's the best? Who's the worst? Trevor.
Best, I'm going with Mr. Big Neck. Worst, I'd probably go with the guy who is about to lose to Mitch the bitch.
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, him. Jesus, it's a bad day for me.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
I think I would pretty much agree with Trevor.
Okay, let's put that then.
If we're doing it where Pickett doesn't count, I would say Mitch Trubisky's last, or not Mitch Trubisky. Daniel Jones is last.
Okay, I think that's fair just because of where their careers have gone. Second best, probably Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
In terms of what they've done. Can we put Trey Lance third or Mac Jones third? One of those two, probably.
I'd put Mac Jones there.
Okay, and then Trey Lance.
Yep.
Or do you want Zach Wilson, Justin Fields?
Mm-mm.
Trey Lance. Okay, so who is now? Let's rank Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mitchell Trubisky.
To be honest, I like it how we have it right now.
Okay, Trevor, I know you've done an article specifically about Justin Fields. Where do you rank where do you rank Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mitchell Trubisky?
I'd say Fields is the best. And I also think Trubisky's better. I think he's the second out of those three guys.
I think I would agree with you. So I'll just do that. So then our too soon to tell rankings: Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mitchell Trubisky, Zach Wilson, Daniel Jones, Kenny Pickett. Below average. I'm not going to allow this. Jared Goff has to be the last. So for ranking 4, Jameis Winston, Jalen Hurts, Marcus Mariota, Baker Mayfield. Luke, how would you rank those 4?
I mean, I'll do easy work for you, Zach. I kind of like it how it is, even though I would put Jared Goff ahead of Baker Mayfield, but
fair. He has a Super Bowl appearance, as you talked about earlier.
We're talking about Baker Mayfield winning one playoff game.
True. Fair enough. Trevor, how would you rank those 4?
I'd put Mayfield above Mariota, but other than that, I like the way it is.
Out of simplicity, I'll just leave it because at least Mariota is starting for a team that we know of. Unless he gets beat up by Desmond Ridder, I guess.
That won't happen.
Okay. Won't win you games. We'll do the same thing as too soon to tell who's the best, who's the worst out of Carson Wentz, Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, and Kirk Cousins, Luke.
I believe that Derek Carr is the best, and I believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is the worst.
Trevor? I think Carr is the best. I'd say Tannehill is the worst.
Okay, so we'll put Carr at the top. Tannehill, and then who'd you say? Oh, you said Garoppolo, right, Luke? As the worst?
Yep.
I'll put Tannehill there. And then we can just put Garoppolo there. Okay, so we're deciding between then 4 of Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, which is interesting because Matt Ryan, obviously, former MVP, whether you think he deserves it or not. You have Carson Wentz, MVP candidate. You have Kyler Murray, who everyone thinks is amazing. And then Kirk Cousins, who is the saltine cracker of the NFL. Do we think Kirk Cousins is 4, or do we think Carson Wentz might be below him, Trevor?
I think Wentz is below. I think that's for sure.
I would agree.
Okay. Whoops. So, do you guys think this order is good? Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins?
Yep. Hey, is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so, right?
I don't think so
MVP, Super Bowl loss in the worst way possible.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
I think
he's on the edge there.
I think he's on the edge. I think you can make a better case if he didn't have Julio Jones.
For sure.
Like, their success are so highly tied together, and I think everyone Like, I think the consensus believes Julio Jones is very clearly the better of the two.
Yeah.
Trevor, do you agree with this really quick?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, Luke, what were you going to say?
Is how much higher is Matt Stafford for Hall of Fame than Matt Ryan, or are they closer than I think?
I think they're close, probably.
I would think so too.
I think one is significantly better than the other. I think Matthew Stafford's way better than Matt Ryan, but I bet they're really close in terms of voting.
Oh yeah, I mean that MVP helps Matt Ryan so much.
Mm-hmm. For sure, and I don't know how many like division wins he has, but I bet there's a few, and I think they might count that a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. Okay, great. Best and worst. Or I think we all think Dak Prescott's the worst out of the greats?
Yes.
Okay, so best and worst then out of Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes. Luke, what do you think?
I mean, I said elite for both Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, and I would put Patrick Mahomes ahead of Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Okay. I'll put Mahomes there then. I'll put Lamar there. Do we think Joe Burrow is the best out of Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, then how do you rank Herbert, Stafford, Wilson then?
Luke. I would rank him Herbert, Stafford, Wilson. Again, you putting these in line for me, Zach.
I would too, seeing how Stafford did for most of the season.
Okay, I'll go with that. And then the top three in the elite category, I would assume Josh Allen's third out of them. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. How do we rank them, Trevor?
I don't think it's really even a discussion. I think it's, what's the quote? It's him, 50 feet of crap, and then everybody else. I mean, that's not even a shot against Tom Brady. It's just not close right now.
I would agree.
Obviously, people will assume we're biased. I think it's not close in terms of just player. I think Aaron Rodgers' skill set is not even close. Better than everybody. Tom Brady, I think in terms of leadership and culture changer, I think it's not close. He's the best in the league.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think I would do that, though. Okay. Definitive. Just the simply the best quarterback rankings in the NFL for 2022. A lot of too soon to tells, which I think is interesting for the season. We will see how everyone plays out. Man, I hope Trey Lance gets to start at quarterback. Well, however, if he doesn't get to start at quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo does, I do get to cash a nice bet in terms of I bet Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the week 1 starter back in like November or something. And it's looking more and more unlikely, but whatever. Tucker Scott in the chat really quick says Wilson is a cornball. And I agree. Screw Russell Wilson. As a Wisconsin fan, I say that.
Has there ever been a bigger cornball?
Joe Namath is kind of a cornball.
Yeah, but at least he was cool at one point. Was Russell Wilson ever cool?
No. Trevor's looking live. He's ready to go. I can tell. Trevor's been drooling over by Simply Spiked lemonade.
My memory is gone. My migraine's killing me. I can't think. My leg hurts. I'm about as broken as Andrew Luck. Is that his name? Yep. I don't even know people's names anymore, so holy shit. But, yeah.
Just a touch on her.
Someone write that down really quick and make a T-shirt, and I think that could be the slogan for Flurry Sports going forward.
Just to touch back on our quarterback rankings real quick, I would probably agree that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but my bias is...
Of course he is. Yeah. But that's fine. It's too late.
Fair.
It's done.
All right. Fuck Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we already said it in stone. I can't change it. It's impossible. We will tweet them out at Flurry Sports on Twitter. We'll post it on Facebook as well. Flurry Sports on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, Please subscribe, comment, tell us who you think are the elite quarterbacks in the NFL or who are the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Thank you for helping us get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Lots of fun stuff coming. Let us know what you want us to rank going forward as well. Does not need to be sports related. Trust us. We will go as off the walls as possible. I think Trevor's face right now tells you everything about how we can go. Oh, there he is. He's not as frozen anymore. But yeah, this is Flurry Sports. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.